Realwrite Realtime, Unit 2, Drill 3, Lessons 5 and 6, narrated by Tara. I. Long I. Jig. Initial J, short I, final G. Jade. Initial J, long A, final D. Back. Initial B, short A, final K. Age. Long A, final J. Came. Initial K, long A, final M. Lie. Initial L, long I. Bike. Initial B, long I, final K. Lad. Initial L, short A, final D. Lab. Initial L, short A, final B. Leaf. Initial L, long E, final F. Lead. Initial L, long E, final D. Jail. Initial J, long A, final L. Kick. Initial K, short I, final K. Bid. Initial B, short I, final D. High. Initial H, long I. Hide. Initial H, long I, final D. Him. Initial H, short I, final M. Like. Initial L, long I, final K. Ache. Long A, final K. Aim. Long A, final M. Deck. Initial D, short E, final K. Lead. Initial L, short E, final D. Lag. Initial L, short A, final G. Ham. Initial H, short A, final M. Mad. Initial M, short A, final D. Jam. Initial J, short A, final M. Kill. Initial K, short I, final L. Badge. Initial B, short A, final J. Big. Initial B, short I, final G. Guide. Initial G, long I, final D. Maid, as in a parlor maid. Initial M, long A, final D. Me. Initial M, AE. Ill. Short I, final L. Bake. Initial B, long A, final K. Cab. Initial K, short A, final B. Deal. Initial D, long E, final L. Leg. Initial L, short E, final G. Hem. Initial H, short E, final M. Hail. Initial H, long A, final L. Gem. Initial J, short E, final M. Mill. initial M, short I, final L. Jag, initial J, short A, final G. Jab, initial J, short A, final B. Die, initial D, long I. Gauge, initial G, long A, final J. Made, as in you made something. Initial M, AE, in final D. Bail, initial B, long A, final L. Bell, initial B, short E, final L. Cage, initial K, long A, final J. Kid, initial K, short I, final D. Ledge, initial L, short E, final J. Jack, initial J, short A, final K. Hill, initial H, short I, final L. Cake, initial K, long A, final K. Mile, initial M, long I, final L. Lee, initial L, long E. Kim, initial K, short I, final M. Dale, initial D, long A, final L. Bill, as in the name Bill. Initial B, short I, final L. Jill, initial J, short I, final L. Jake, initial J, long A, final K. Jim, initial J, short I, final M. Meg, initial M, short E, final G. Two, two, two. 8, 8, 8. Can, initial K. Am, final M. Will, initial L. Come, initial KM. Bill, as in to bill for something. Initial B, final L. Little, initial L, short I, final L. I can, long I, final K. Can I, initial K, short I. Can A, initial K, long A. I did, long I, final D. Did I, initial D, short I. If A, initial F, long A. I had, long I, final H. Had I, initial H, short I. Had A, initial H, long A. I am, long I, final M. Will I, initial L, short I. Will A, initial L, long A. He can, initial H, AE, final K. Can he, initial K, short E. Will he, Initial L, short E. Dale had a deck. Jim had a cake. He can bake a cake if he will. Ed made a cage. Jill did a leg kick. He can feed Meg a jam cake. I can bake a ham. Can he hide? Deal him a bad deck. He came back. Can a lad be like me? A maid made a big bed. A cab had a big bell. Meg had a bike. A kid had jam. Kim did kick Ed. He made me mad about a bad deed. Will I feed Ed a cake? Can I make a bell? I had a headache. Will he bill me? Hi, Lee. I came back. If he can, he can. Jill made a deal about a cab. He did like me. End.